is Misti Green, and you're listening to the iLEAD Misti Blue Podcast, where strategy meets soul and faith finds its voice. Life has a gentle and sometimes even painful way of showing us what's really happening inside of us. Not when things are easy or flowing, but when the heart gets pressed just a little. When something doesn't go as planned, when a door closes, when someone disappoints you, or even when the answer you receive is not yet. Pressure doesn't change us, it reveals us. And I don't mean in that harsh measuring way, I mean in the most human way possible. Most of us don't really know what we're carrying until life presses on a tender, soft place, until disappointment lingers longer than expected, until the weight stretches. And sometimes what comes out of us in those moments surprises even us, not because it's wrong, but because it shows us how we've learned to process life even when things are hard. Let me tell you what I mean. Not long ago, I watched two very different moments unfold in the lives of people I cared about. In one situation, life brought a relatively small disappointment, nothing earth shattering, yet something shifted almost immediately. What could have been met with perspective turned into withdrawal, frustration, and even isolation and emotional distance. Not because the moment itself was big, but because there was an unaddressed hurt that was already present. Pressure touched it and it spilled out. Around the same exact time, I watched someone else walk through profound loss, the kind that knocks the wind out of you and changes how you breathe for a while. And instead of isolating or hardening, something else happened. There was honesty about the pain, a willingness to be supported, and a softness that remained even when grieving. They chose to let people in. They chose to let love help them heal. Faith didn't erase the hurt, but because of their openness and their posture, faith was able to hold it. Same pressure? No, but pressure all the same. And it revealed what was already living inside of each person individually. What fills us eventually spills out when life tilts. And that isn't something to be afraid of. It's information. It's insight, and it's a silent and soft invitation. Life has a way of showing us who we are when we least expect it. Not the edited version, not the composed version, but the honest one. And this isn't about judging yourself. It's about noticing yourself, because whatever rises in those moments is inviting your attention, not your shame. So I want to ask you a real question. One you don't need to answer out loud, but one worth sitting with gently. When life presses on you right now, when something doesn't go as planned, when disappointment shows up, because it will, when waiting feels heavy, what tends to come out of you? Do you shut down quietly? Do you lash out at those you love most? Do you numb or isolate? Or do you lean in? Do you stay soft and remain open even while it hurts? Pull up a chair, the table is set. I want to talk about revealing seasons, those moments of loss, of conflict, of frustration, of overwhelm, disappointment, and waiting that doesn't just show us what's happening around us, but it helps us understand what's happening within us, not to label us or shame us, but to grow us, to heal what we've ignored, and to tend to what needs care. Because the truth is this: We don't learn much about ourselves or others when everything is easy and copacetic. When people are praised and celebrated and comfortable and getting their way, we're seeing them in their good weather. But when the temperature changes, when plans shift, when disappointment sits at the same table a little longer than expected, what's inside always will begin to surface. And people respond differently. Some pull away, some grow defensive, some go quiet, some numb, some pray, some stay tender, even through tears. None of these responses come out of nowhere. They're shaped by what we've learned, what we've survived, what we've endured, what we've shown up for, and what we believe will keep us safe. This shows up everywhere. It shows up in relationships, friendships, in families, in leadership, and even in faith. You can think you know someone until life tests them, until a boundary is named, until a concern is raised, until momentum slows, and suddenly you meet a version of that person that was always there, just hidden behind comfort. Pressure doesn't create those patterns, it reveals them. And if we're honest, pressure reveals our own patterns too. It shows us whether we grow reflective or we grow bitter, whether we blame others or situations or if we pause, whether we isolate quietly or if we choose to remain engaged, and whether we keep showing up or if we choose to retreat. And this matters deeply right now because we're living in unsettled times. Our society feels restless. Conversations feel extremely polarized. People are tired. There is a growing tendency to buckle under pressure and at the same time to resent those who continue to show up with steadiness and composure and dignity. Somehow, resilience has been misunderstood and steadiness has been misread. And people who keep moving forward, sometimes with lip gloss on, sometimes with quiet resolve, are assumed to be unaffected or robotic or even in denial. But that isn't true. There are people who keep showing up while carrying grief, who keep leading while processing disappointment, who keep believing while waiting longer than they ever imagined. And pressure in these moments doesn't reveal a lack of feeling, it reveals depth of formation. My mom used to say something that has stayed with me through hard seasons: no lapse, no gaps. You get up and you face the world, not because it's easy and not because you're untouched and not even because things were fair, but because showing up is an act of faith. Pressure also has a way of clarifying relationships. You begin to notice who you can sit with in your hardship, but who struggles to celebrate your healing, who wants to hear about your pain, but grows quiet when you overcome. Jealousy and resentment don't always announce themselves loudly. Sometimes they simply stop clapping. That awareness, it can hurt, but it's not meant to harden you. It's meant to sharpen your discernment. Life presses all of us. That's unavoidable. But pressing is not punishment, it's process. Think about it. The olive must be pressed for oil to flow. The grape must be crushed for sweetness to be released. And wheat must be sifted before it becomes nourishment. None of these processes destroy what is valuable. They release it, they separate it. In the same way, life will press you, process you, and even sift you, not to break you, but to show you where your anchor is, whether it's in approval or purpose, whether it's in control or trust, whether it sits in outcomes or in obedience. Anchors are essential in storms, but they were never meant to stay down forever. They steady us for a moment so we don't drift, and they must be lifted so we can move forward. See, pressure helps us discern when we need stability and when we need motion. So if life is pressing on you right now, breathe. Something is being revealed, not so you can be judged, but so something can be healed. Let's pause here for a moment. Selah. If the last season of your life has revealed reactions you didn't expect, emotions you didn't quite love and possibly are even embarrassed to have had, or places that you realize still need care, don't run from that awareness. Sit right with it. Let it speak. God doesn't reveal these places to condemn you, He reveals them to heal you. We often ask, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening around me? But a better question is, what is this season revealing in me? Revealing seasons don't just show us the parts we don't like, they can reveal our growth. Maybe this time you didn't shut down. Maybe this time you didn't chase someone who mistreated you. Maybe this time you didn't self destruct or sabotage. Maybe this time you stayed soft. And maybe this time you chose to pray first. Celebrate that. That's growth too. The goal is not perfection, it's awareness, it's maturity, it's evolution, it's transformation. As you move throughout your week, I want you to watch and gently and honestly and with compassion, not with judgment, give yourself grace and reflect. Watch how you respond when life presses on you in small and in big ways. Watch how others respond too, not to label them, but to learn. And ask yourself what this season has revealed in you, what it has shown you about others, and what still needs healing, and also what you can be proud of. Because seasons don't just pass by us, they shape us if we allow them to. The question isn't whether life will press you, because it will. The question is whether you pay attention to what it's revealing or if you choose to run from it. Because a lesson unaddressed will be a lesson repeated. Pressure doesn't change you, it reveals you. And sometimes that revelation is the very thing that sets you free. If this episode spoke to you, please like and share, leave a comment or a review so that others may join this conversation. Until next time, pull up a chair. The table is always set.